I'm Walt Aldridge, and I'm a musician here in the Shoals area. Have been working in this industry for 34 years. I've been a musician, session player, engineer, songwriter, producer. Worked with publishing companies, a little bit of everything, not much of anything, I guess, as they say. Songwriting picked me as opposed to me picking it. I was lucky to have a guy named Rick Hall who was sort of my teacher and mentor. I came out of school thinking that I wanted to be a session guitar player, and then I heard some real session guitar players and went out and I always say tied my guitar on the back of my car and dragged it home, you know. But he always encouraged me to engineer and do everything that I possibly could, and I did. And it has served me well. But along with that, I was just writing songs at night and trying to learn about that craft. All of a sudden, I had a song recorded and it became a hit by Ronnie Milsap, and people were calling me to write songs for them or write songs with them, and I said, hey, I think I could do this. And so while I never quit doing those other things, that sort of became my specialty, is writing songs. When the question is put to me about why Muscle Shoals ever happened way back in the day, I'm not sure I have an answer, but maybe an even more appropriate question might be, why has it continued? During those 50 years since the scene developed here at Muscle Shoals, it's consistently had music makers and creators that have been an important part of the international and global music scene. As writers, as musicians, as artists, as producers, as engineers, studio owners, and what have you. During that time, you had Detroit and Memphis and Macon and a lot of other outposts other than Nashville and LA and New York that became important recording centers, but they're gone. It's still here. I mean, we still have important music being made here. And that is the intriguing question to me, is how has it continued for 50 years when those other places have come and gone? I don't know that I or anyone else has the answer to that question, other than the fact that the people here seem to have a really fierce commitment to that history, heritage, and to the process of mentoring or passing it on down to the next generation. I think that the Muscle Shoals sound, if there is one traditionally, has always been it's a combination of blues and country music. Those that really are devotees or students of the music know that there have been several eras to Muscle Shoals music. There was that, and then there was certainly the rock era that had Bob Seger and the Stones and Paul Simon and a lot of things that were cut in this actual room that we're sitting in. And then you have all the songwriting that has happened. I mean, an incredible number of hit songs that have been accounted for by writers living and working here in the Shoals area. But I think when the question is asked of me of what is the Muscle Shoals sound, I always think of that rhythm section sound of the 60s, which was predominantly white guys playing their interpretation of soul music. But it also had a little something else. It had a little funk to it, a little blues, a little rural, homespun organic quality that was not being made in Memphis, Macon, other areas that were making, Detroit, Philadelphia, other areas that were making soul music. Where we're headed is probably where we are now, more of an independent, live performance-driven industry. We're seeing that already in the Shoals. We're seeing a lot more live music being performed than we used to have here, more venues opening up, and more artists being born because they're going out there and paying their dues and slugging it out and learning the good old-fashioned way of trying your music out on fans and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work. It was a great lesson for me, and I think that has been the renegade approach that Muscle Shoals has always taken is, hey, man, you know, we don't have the most elaborate orchestrations or maybe the most educated musicians that went to Juilliard or some other fancy school, but we got guys that play with their bones, and they sound like they're standing up when they play, and they give you every bit of the fire and the soul and the instinct that they have. That's what it takes. That's what it takes to really be innovative, unique, or make important music.